actually published your own books, and can you please talk about your books, how you how they can be helpful for people who work probably not even in that field, maybe like in a similar field, how it can be interesting for them. Also, how to find those books, because when I was trying to find your articles, I found probably just one with full access. All of them basically, it's very hard to find full access. Most of articles were basically hidden from the public view. So tell us about your books. What is the main thing in them, and how can they be helpful?
Yes, we have published some books with our colleagues, and probably I should start with the books that we have published in 2019 related to the fundamentals of the metamaterials. It is called Phenomena of Optical Metamaterials. And these books contains all the fundamentals of the metamaterials, of the novel structures, some mathematical formulas that could be applied in order to investigate them, different types of metamaterials. So the concept of the disordered metamaterial is also included into the book, and we can also find some techniques that could be used in order to investigate such structures. This book is available for the purchase online in Amazon. I think it is available at the moment. It also can be purchased from Elsevier website, I think so. And
or printed.
Yes, there are different options for purchase. There is the so-called ebook, and also it could be purchased as a hard copy as well. So there are different options for that. And also we have recently published a book related to cancer. And this is from CRC printing house, so it also could be purchased online, like an ebook or a hard copy.
So it's only two of them.
There are also some other books. I don't remember the exact names of these books at the moment, but they also contain some fundamentals and some applications.
Tell me a little bit about metamaterials. From a general perspective, what is so special about them? What's special about them? Why we even have this word, metamaterial, why even call, and how it even related to optics? So metamaterials understood something that not actually exists, right?
Yes. This is a very fundamental question that we should discuss in order to gain a deeper understanding into the subject. Yes, exactly. So these are the artificial materials that do not exist. We can't find them in real life, in the real world. And this should be constructed using some particles that are usually implanted into the host material, that is, for instance, dielectric, and for nanoparticles we can use metals, for instance. And what we can do, we can just use very well-known particles and materials in order to construct the so-called metamaterial in the laboratory, and aiming to investigate its properties. So regarding the terminology metamaterial, each came from Greek word, I think so, and it means that these structures are artificial and do not exist in the real world.
And they're basically fabricated via intermedia we have, whatever it is, microscope or other intermediary. Basically, something
Yes.
that human eyes can see.
Yes, we should use some techniques that are available in the laboratory in order to fabricate the metamaterials. At the moment, very popular technique is the so-called 3D printing that allows to print the metasurfaces, metamaterials, to investigate them for further investigations and for applications in some devices and so on.
So basically, why we even need this thing? So this thing basically allows scientists to see and to relate something human eyes never would able to see, right?
Uh, yes, so these structures certainly have some advantages, and if we print them with using the 3D printing technology, we can later on use them for endoscopes, for instance, aiming to enhance the properties of these devices. And also, some fascinating properties of the metamaterials would include the control of light in a very attractive way. So these properties could be used for other applications as well. So what I'm trying to say is that these structures really have some advantages, and we can use the fabricated parts aiming to enhance the functionalities of the well-known devices.
Yes, so basically the application can be very broad, not just medical, because that can, we need evaluation of lots of things, for detecting whatever, some defects and some, very important whatever it is, aspects of human life. Of course, healthcare is the number one because it's a human body and health, but applications can be vary, right? There are multiple applications, and the idea that you published a book about it, it's I mean, that's very deserves attention and definitely gratitude. So we're very thankful. I just want to say thank you for all the people who ever would read your book, because I think that's very important and interesting. So let's we still have time. We can talk a little bit about mathematical approach. We probably won't go that deep in general, but can you please tell, in your own words, in terms of mathematical approach you're using, why you even like, what was your thinking processes when you were figuring things out, and why this approach actually works from your perspective?
So what we are doing at the moment, we are working on that approach in terms of its enhancing. So we have obtained some results already. So we have developed the theory that allows us to conclude of the properties of the disordered medium And as I have mentioned, our collaborators from Krakow, Poland, help us with that. So the main goal was to conclude on the so-called effective properties of the media. It means that we would need to take into account all the inclusions that are included into the host material, if we speak about the metamaterial structure. So the main aim would be to conclude on the effective properties, and in this relation we can deal with this metamaterial later on. We can think about the possible applications based on effective properties of the whole sample. There is always a room to enhance this theory, of course, and this could include the shapes of the inclusions, the orientation of the inclusions, the locations of the inclusions. So at the moment we are trying to take all these components on board in order to speak about very precise properties of the structure.
Okay. So this technique is actually applicable specifically to metamaterial. Got you. It's, I mean, understood. Don't worry behind of it. So the thing is, as understood, this area has basically the same obstacles as any other AI related area, meaning that it's very hard to deal with the noise, right? To differentiate, to actually find what is so different from the normal flow of the patterns, right? Is it true?
Yes, at some perspectives, it is true. If we are dealing with the so-called highly disordered metamaterial media, it means that in this case we would have lots of inclusions orientated in a very chaotic way, and we need to take into account all the geometry, all the pattern in order to come to the conclusion. So this is probably the main challenge that we are facing with while constructing the theory. So I would say that the high degree of the disorder would cause the main challenge from this perspective. Yes.
Okay, interesting. So what do you think, what is your perspective on the future of these materials? How do you see it? Which way we will go?
Yes, so the future developments certainly would include the detection of cancer, recognition of the damaged biological tissues, and also we can speak about the right choice of the medications for the patients. So this is basically these are the medical applications, and this would relate the applications of the metamaterial theory as theory of the disordered and random media. So this would be the first line that could be used by researchers in future. And also we can speak about physically existing metamaterial patterns that could be used in order to enhance the properties of the endoscopes, for instance, and this would be also the medical applications.
Okay, so as I understood from what you said, is actually this method is actually helps to find something that needs to be done in the medical field. I mean, it basically by itself is a great tool to evaluate and look for the problems in the medical field that exist. I mean, I turned a little bit around, but that's what it feels like. Basically, it will help evaluate and find new directions for the research, because it allows to look a lot deeper and find more problems that probably exist on a deeper level, right? And probably it will drive research. It will find new ways for the further research development, right?
Yes, sure. So that is absolutely true. Yes.
So, because I'm actually from the family of mathematicians. My grandmother, she loved mathematics. She was actually a professor. She was teaching, mathematics, statistics all her life. And I, well, she died in 2003, but she was a big fan. I mean, she loved this field a lot. Do you have? And I remember she always. It was her philosophy of life, mathematics, because for her it always were, queen of sciences, and her even brain worked in a different way because she was using different methodology for thinking processes. Do you have, because you've been already in the field a while and you have good experience, do you develop a philosophy, your own philosophy, probably internal, to see mathematics? Do you have some unique developed perspective on things? Do you have something like this?
Thank you for this question. It's actually a very, very interesting one. As regards the philosophy, I think we should find every day some new challenges that should be solved and that should be overcome, and only in this case, if we are able to find challenge, we can see the goal, the aim. So probably the philosophy is that we should seek for the challenge every day, and in this case we would find the approach, the methodology to solve the challenge.
So your brain is basically scanning environment for the defects,
for the challenge, right?
to work on.
Yes.
To focus. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. You know what? I believe that we got lots of very interesting information. And are you looking for collaborations, or maybe you're looking for someone who would love to find more applications in your of your research? If so, please just share what is the best way to contact you, and what is the best way to find you and how to contact you.
So probably by email would be the best option.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And your official profile is on the Vilnius Tech University, right?
Yes.
It would be the best way to contact. It's because you're in the Vilnius.
Yes.
Okay, that's actually good to know. Well, thank you so much. It was a joy and pleasure, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for inviting me.